Hey guys, what's up? Ivo once again, and today I'm gonna talk another Sylvester Stallone movie, and today I will be talking and reviewing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yes, it's 1992 comedy, and this movie is actually a flop movie. It actually bombed, and I'm not a fan of this movie. I have this for the collection, but you know what the hell? Why not talking out it? I don't hate this film, but I think it's a time waster. I think it's a mediocre film, a time waster, and it's a comedy. It's an action comedy, but it's not that big of a film. Sylvester Stallone hates this film. He considered one of his worst films. I don't agree with that, but I'm not saying it's a good movie either. It's actually a comedy, but it isn't that bad. To me, the worst Sylvester Stallone movies that he actually did were actually Rhinestone. I hate Rhinestone. Then was this film that I really hate, Creed 2. I hate the most. And I hate that movie, Rambo Last Blood. I hate those three movies are actually the worst. I'll say Paradise Alley is another one of his worst films that he did. But Rhinestone is definitely one of his three worst movies I have seen. Rhinestone is worst. Because that movie is almost 2 hours long, and Sly doesn't do almost nothing except scream in my ear. He almost ripped my ears out of it. Almost ripped my ears out of it. He was so god awful. I could not listen to his horrible cranky voice anymore. But at least this film, I have fun with it, so I'll call it a time waster, but a fun film. A time waster fun film. So yeah. It's not that bad of a film. I mean, it's not that bad of a film. It still has a few action comedy in it. Directed by Roger Spottiswoode. Written by who wrote this film already? Blake Snyder, William Osborne, and William Davis. There were 3 writers that came out with this film. So Sylvester Stallone was actually tricked, and he was set up, just like in Tango and Cash. He was set up by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Back in the 80s, 90s, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone were competing each other who kills the most people on screen. And when Arnold Schwarzenegger was making comedies, he made like Twins, and he made Kindergarten Cop, which are actually successful films that Arnold Schwarzenegger did. They made more money than Red Heat. And when producers came to Sylvester Stallone and asked him if they could do, if he would be interested in this movie, in making this movie Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And Sylvester Stallone said no. But then he heard that rumors, which Arnold Schwarzenegger started rumors, that he wants this movie for himself, that he wants to do this movie because of Kindergarten Cop. He wants to play another cop. And so he wants to play a cop. Once again, he wants to play a cop, and he wants to have it for himself. And Arnold Schwarzenegger then heard rumors from producers that they're gonna get Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold is interested in this movie. Arnold will be doing this movie. And Sly had enough. He had enough of rumors. So he signed on to do this movie to beat Schwarzenegger. Sadly, this movie flopped out, and it was really embarrassing. It was really that bad, But it's not one of Sly's burden, his burden in his career. But last year I saw a clip in which Arnold Schwarzenegger was laughing, make fun of Sly, how he tricked Sly into doing this movie. And I remember when Sly saw that clip, how he was making fun of him, that he tricked him that time into do it. So he said, okay, my muscular guy friend, I saw how you make fun of me, on Jimmy Kimmel show, how you tricked me to do Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And he said, Do I think it's one of my burdens? Nah, I don't think. but I'm actually writing. This is something that I do. Oh, they said that, and he says, I'm writing a sequel, and it's called "Stop, or Your Grandmother Will Beat Your Ass." and you're gonna be started, and I'm gonna write it, produce it, direct it in it. I love Stallone. I love Stallone to death. I love his response. I love Stallone. And no, Sly, I don't think this is actually one of your worst movies. I think Rhinestone is worse. I think Creed 2 is worse. I think Rambo Last Blood is worse than this movie. But it's just me. Many will disagree, but it's just me. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot is not that bad. I actually saw the film, not the film, but I saw the VHS tape, back in the 90s when this movie came out. I kind of miss, I wish I would have that cover of Sylvester Stallone with his 38 special gun and Estelle Getty with machine gun, like Rambo. She wears like a machine gun, and there's like that puppy in it, I really wish that. But yeah, so she did the laundry, washed the windows, and scrubbed the floors. Now she's gonna clean up the streets. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Rest in peace, Estelle Getty. She heard that she was in that sitcom, The Golden Girls. I saw a few episodes as a kid. Not big into that show. But yeah, Estelle Getty, rest in peace, poor actress. She has to pass away. I guess age caught her too bad, but she was really great. It's a shame a good actress passed away, she was very missed. I think that Golden Girls was very popular at that time. But Estelle Getty, she heard that there's gonna be guns in it, and she said no. She said she's not gonna do it, so producers lied to her. Who produced this movie? Michael C. Gross, Joe Medjuk, Ivan Reitman was producing this movie. He was producer and director on Ghostbusters too, and could not get better job done. I really wish he would. Directed by Roger Spottiswoode, who directed Shot to Kill, Tomorrow Never Dies, that I reviewed, which I love that film to death. But yeah, they lied to her that there's not gonna be any guns. But when she signed, there were guns. She was disappointed. Stallone was disappointed because he heard that Schwarzenegger tricked him into doing this movie. That he went and tricked him to this movie. That he wanted that Arnold wanted this movie for himself, and with Stallone, I think Stallone, when he saw how bad this movie was, he regretted his decision. But Stop or My Mom Will Shoot is not that bad of a film. So it talks about a police officer, I think he's in LA, Joe Bomowski, played by Sylvester Stallone, and his mom, I think was his mom Trudy, I think was his mom, she shows up in the town to visit him, and she makes him nuts, she's like makes him a breakfast. She does like the washes the window, she goes and washes his gun, demolishes his gun, she makes him a breakfast, she shows up in his work. Joe Bomowski has a relationship with this woman, Jo Beth Williams. She's a captain of the precinct. She has a relationship, but he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to get her to glow her heart. He doesn't know how to touch her heart. In the meantime, he's been tracking down this arms dealer. Bernal, he's an arms dealer. He's actually not in this cover, but he's an arms dealer. He's actually an arms dealer, and his Joe Bomowski's mom, she sees a murder. When she goes in a town, she has that cute dog I forgot to mention. I wish that in this cover there would be a dog, but he isn't. But she has that beautiful, cute dog. I love puppies. She goes in town and she wants to buy the same gun for Sylvester Stallone for her son Joe, but she has to wait like weeks. So this arms dealer shows up and tells her, his son's gonna love it. He sells the weapons, he goes and sells her Uzi, he goes and sells her Uzi. And of course, she's actually a witness to a murder. And instead to tell the detectives what she saw, she refused to talk. She wants only to tell her son so that her son will get promotion, he'll get better job. She becomes now a witness to a murder, and Joe tries to do, what's the best, to tell this detective, this guy is an asshole, he's an asshole, he tries to get promotion, he tries to mislead Sylvester Stallone's character, and he goes and talks shit about his mom, and Sly goes and punches and throws him in the bathroom. I was laughing my ass. I like that scene. I don't remember, but this guy, Martin Ferrero from Miami Vice in this movie, I think he gets killed. I think that when Sly and his mom gets the lead, they try to kill them. Like this scene, but she goes and fires the gun, but Sly says stop or my mom will shoot, and she misses. I actually think the trailer is better. It's PG-13, but the trailer is better. This is the back. The trailer is better. But on the end, when Estelle Getty, she goes, she embarrasses her son. There's a suicide jump, and Sly gets like pissed, and she says, "Stop!" I was like laughing my ass. It's still a good comedy. But oh my god. So this suicide jumper was funny. It was also funny because she goes and she keeps meddling with his life. She keeps telling him what to do. She's meddling with his life. She's like ruining him, and he's pissed. He can't take it anymore. She's meddling with his girlfriend, by giving her flowers, by sending her flowers, pretending that Joe did that, and she's like completely ruined his life, But it still has a few action scenes. One of my problems was the stunt doubles for Sly. I don't know why. Stunt doubles, I guess Stallone did not want to do stunts. He was pissed with this movie. But like stunt doubles fighting those guys, in the end, she goes and she fires the bad guy. Sly catches the bad guy and he leaves her. I'm not a fan of this film. I saw as a kid. I still think Kindergarten Cop is better with Schwarzenegger. I think even Last Action Hero was better than this movie. But I don't think that this film is that bad. I don't think this movie is god awful or is a shitty movie. I'm not gonna call it. Last year I thought it was half and a half. It was decent, but it was also a problem. It was a flop film. I wish that the action would be much better. I wish it wouldn't be that much. I wish that it would be much more comedic in it. I wish that the actress, the character, Estelle Getty, I think she plays Trudy Bomowski. I wish she would not embarrass Stallone's character that much, I wish she wouldn't embarrass him that much, but they had to do a comedy. Music score was by Alan Silvestri, but the music score kinda ruins the film. Watch this film with Danny DeVito called Wise Guys. That movie was much better comedy in my opinion, I'm not that much into comedy. Watch Ghostbusters, both of them are much better comedies. One of my biggest wishes now that Ivan Reitman would direct this movie. I think he would have a much better job. Roger Spottiswoode Wode, he did directed Turner and Hooch. I hated it. Why? Because they killed Hooch. I like dogs. I hated when they killed dogs. And I think that daughter of Roger Spottiswoode was very disappointed. She was sad because they went to kill the kid, the dog. And he said they did a test audience in which the dog survives, and the test audience hated it, so they killed off the dog. And I hated it. I felt like sad with Turner Rouge. I think that K9 with James Belushi was much better film, in my opinion. I enjoy K9 much more. It was my favorite film because Jerry Lee survives. But Rouge has to be killed, and I hated that, you know. I think that Roger Spottiswoode was not the right man for the job directing this film. If I would do this movie, I would actually put Ivan Reitman to direct in this movie. I will actually ask Sly to direct it himself. I think it would be much better film. I also would replace the actress. JoBeth Williams is ugly. I wish we could get. Why was Sharon Stone not in this movie? Sharon Stone would be much better lead, in my opinion. You know, she was later in The Specialist, which I'm gonna review that movie because I love that movie more. I wish the actress could have been much better actress. Andie McDowell could have been in this movie. Maybe Angelina Jolie could have been in this movie. You know, I wish they could cast better actors than JoBeth Williams. I think she's a terrible actress, in my opinion. Kelly Lynch from Roadhouse, you know, or Samantha Matthews, Sandra Bullock could have been in this movie. Thank God she was later in Demolition Man, Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock would be much better choice to play the role than JoBeth Williams. She would be much better choice. You know, this actor is horrible. But rest in peace, Estelle Getty. Estelle Getty did a good job. I think that Sly did a decent performance. Just I think he hated it. He didn't want to do even. He even didn't want to do the fight scenes because he sees a stunt double. But yeah, I do have this film for the collection. It's a time waster, it's a decent time waster. Just show you the Blu-ray disc. But I actually think that I wish I would have Oscar because the time it wasn't released on Blu-ray. The time when I was buying these movies that wasn't released on Oscar was not released on Blu-ray. Yeah, now it is, but at the time it wasn't. It wasn't released. Kindergarten Cop or Twins wasn't released. Now it is, so I don't have those movies. But Oscar I enjoy. Oscar is a decent movie with John Landis. I preferred Oscar. I think that even is better than Beverly Hills Cop 3. I think just like this movie, I'll say this movie is better than Beverly Hills Cop 3. I rented that movie. But thank God this movie is only 1 hour 29 minutes, at least better than Rhinestone. Rhinestone was like 2 hours banging on my head. At least this movie wasn't banging on my head. So I did not rent this movie last year, and I won't rent this year either. But I'm glad I have this for the Blu-ray collection. I'm glad I have this film. I watched it as a kid. I still think that Kindergarten Cop and Last Action Hero were much better films than this film. But yeah, I don't know the rest of the actors, cast. Roger Spottiswoode could have done much better direction. I mean, he directed Shot to Kill that I love. I would like to get that movie someday. I don't think it's released. I think it is released on Blu-ray, but I don't know if I ever got that film. In which Clancy Brown is the bad guy in it. Tom Berenger and Sidney Poitier are in it. But yeah, that's actually is my review on Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Or there's gonna be a sequel, like Sly says. I'm writing, gonna direct it, I'm gonna produce it. It's called Stop or Your Grandmother Will Beat Your Ass, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I would really love to see that, you know. But Sylvester Stallone, he did a good job. I mean, I really say that I'm a biggest fan of him. I mean, I love Rambo films. I love Demolition Man Cliffhanger. I reviewed Demolition Man Kicks Ass. It's a badass film. I make like over an hour-long review. I did a retrospective review why I love the movie to death, why it still holds today, why it predicted, why it's such a badass film. Demolition Man had a comedy. I love Demolition Man to death. I mean, Demolition Man is one of the best, the greatest action movies of all time. I would say better than T2. To me, better than T2. You know, even better than I think, okay, it's not better than Hard Target because of a comedy, but still great as Hard Target. I love both of them. And Predator 2. They were my top 3 favorite action movies of all time. Number 4, in the middle, you see Broken Arrow. 5, I'll say Die Hard. 6, GoldenEye. 7, Cliffhanger. You know, those are my action films. 8, Predator, the original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Number 9, Die Hard The Vengeance. 10, I'll say Universal Soldier. 11, Under Siege. 12, Cyborg. 13, Kickboxer. 14, Above the Law. I know which one I put number 15 already. I think was Cobra. Number 15 is Cobra from Stallone, and number 16 is this movie now behind me, Roadhouse. Definitely. I think the number 17 is John Wick, and the rest of the movies. Then I think in 18 I put RoboCop. I don't remember now. But yeah, I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan, and I love Demolition Man to death. The Demolition Man kicks ass. I love Rambo films. I love Rocky films. I love Cliffhanger. I also enjoy and love the movies like The Specialist, which I think is underrated. Copland, I love to death. Tango and Cash, I love to death. I did a retrospective review on Tango and Cash. Those are my films that I grew up watching as a kid. Anyway, that's my review on Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. But the flick came out in 1992. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the movie cost $45 million, but at least it made more money. It made $70 million, so that's actually better. It made more money than Demolition Man. I don't know why, but it made more money. But it cost $45 million, the budget for the film. I don't know why it cost that much to make this film, but at least made more money worldwide. It made $70 million, so that's good. But it holds, I think, 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think IMDb has 4.2 on it, and yeah, I know people shit on it. I shitted on this film too, but I'm glad I have this movie in my collection. And like I said, it's a movie review. It's a decent time waster at best. It's a mediocre, below average film. It's not average, it's below average. You know, it's below average film. Time waster, more a time waster. Just call it a time waster. Anyway, that's my movie review on Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next review, which is gonna be soon. I'm out for today. Peace.